Hey, we're hanging out here in Millville at Ridgeline High School on a beautiful late October evening as the State 4A playoffs roll on with a rematch of a great game from earlier this year. Stansbury visits Ridgeline for a second-round game. That game was that I'm talking about earlier, that was a one-point game played up at Utah State, 28-27. Ridgeline wins that ball game on their way to a pretty good season. Well, it didn't deter Stansbury. They had a pretty darn good season themselves, and now here they are again. Two teams that run very balanced offenses. They can both run, they can both pass, they'll take what the defense gives them, and both teams are really good at putting up points. Stansbury scoring almost 35 points a game, only giving up around 19, and Ridgeline in that area as well. So it's really evenly matched. We'll see how it turns out. Somebody is going to go home tonight and be done. We'll find out on the Game of the Week.
Wendy's is saying thanks for making the Junior Bacon Cheeseburger America's #1 bacon cheeseburger by giving you more of what you love. Introducing Wendy's Giant Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. Double the beef, double the bacon, and now it comes in a giant meal for $5 with nuggets, fries, and a drink. There's absolutely nothing junior about it, except the price. Get Wendy's $5 Giant Junior Bacon Cheeseburger meal before it's gone.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
I had a chance to talk with Ridgeline coach Travis Cox about this game against Stansbury coming up tonight, a little bit earlier this week. He said, you know, that early one, that's a good gauge. We play games like that so that we can see teams like this for this very reason. When you get into the playoffs, you might have a chance to see them again. But he also acknowledges that they're a different team than they were when they met the first time. And Stansbury's probably a little bit different team than when they met the first time. Injuries, players coming back from injuries really can shake things up. But he's really been pleased, Coach Cox has, with his offensive and defensive lines. He said, we've been able to win in the trenches most games, and that's why we've been able to win most games. He had a lot of praise for his young secondary, a secondary that really struggled the last time these two teams met. He said they've grown a lot, but they're going to get a big test tonight against Stansbury. We'll see what comes about on the Game of the Week.
Say the word base. Say the word mess.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Wendy's of Cache Valley. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Bring back what you have been missing. Aspen Dental. Get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. Custom Fence Company. Privacy, security, peace of mind. Anderson Seed and Garden. Growing better gardeners. The Logo Shop. We logo stuff. All kinds of stuff. KSM means music. Music is all we do. Factory Pizzeria. We're open late after the game. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 30 years. Welcome to Ridgeline High School in Millville, Utah, in Cache Valley. where tonight the Stansbury Stallions make the journey into the Great White North to take on the Ridgeline Riverhawks in round 2 of the 4A State Football Championship playoffs. Hello everyone, I'm Eric Olson with you tonight for this second round game, a rematch of a great contest played on August 25th up at Utah State. Ridgeline a 1-point winner in that ball game. But this is also a Ridgeline team that looks a lot different because of the absence of one player, J.T. White. We'll talk about him. Ridgeline's been without him for a while, but he was on the roster and a big part of that first win. This one's going to be taken at the 1-yard line on the kickoff. Good seam up the far side, and it's going to be decent field position for Stansbury as it's returned by Xavier Patch out near the 30-yard line. To 28, there's a flag back at the 20. Personal foul, head to head. They're gonna call Stansbury for it. So it's going to back Stansbury up on the 20. So looked like somebody maybe a shot to the helmet. And that's going to back him up to the 10-yard line. Stansbury can do just a little bit of everything. Coleman Dearden, 52% passer, 2,152 yards, 14 yards per completion, 21 touchdowns. Good for number 7 in 4A, only 4 interceptions. And Ferry behind him is a speedster. Low snap, they give to Ferry. Ferry with a little bit of an opening. Maybe a yard for number 20, Tyson Ferry, the junior. Stansbury doesn't waste any time. They're gonna give to Ferry again. Ferry caught at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 9. No gain for Ferry. Two receivers to this near side. Ferry in the backfield alone, 2 to the far side on the spread look. 3 down linemen for Ridgeline. Ferry's now motioning out. Going up over the top, nobody home. In fact, it's picked off. Picked off by Braxton Perry.
Broken off by Braxton Perry. Pass incomplete.
Nope, he dropped it. And they're going to kick it as Stansbury from the 11-yard line. He had it in his hands and he dropped it. Back to receive is Trace Dustin. So Stansbury 3 and out, 1 yard on their first possession. Here comes Ridgeline. They get it away. Dustin looking at the end-over-end kick and then just getting away as it's going to die before it reaches midfield, just shy of the 49-yard line, and that's where Nate Daly will bring the Ridgeline offense out onto the field. Coached by Travis Cox, he's 38-9 in his 4 years here. 1 title to his name in an undefeated season a couple years ago. 2 trips to the semis, and this is 4th season. He's been wildly successful here at Ridgeline. Daly will have Crosby West behind him, number 26, the sophomore running back. Coach Cox loves what his offensive line has been doing this year. They're going to throw it quickly over the middle. Pass complete and near first down yardage. In fact, with that little second effort, Knighton picks up 11 and the first down.
First down, Ridgeline. Olsen on the tackle for the Stallions.
Ridgeline 8-2 on the season. They got walloped by a Orem team that didn't have a really good record. We'll talk maybe a little bit about that as the game goes on. They go to the air again, and they've got Livingston. Turns the corner, picks up another first down. 19 yards. And just like that, Ridgeline is inside the 25-yard line, and they're trying to get him to start the clock here. Now they start it. After both plays, the clock stopped here at Ridgeline, and the white hat was waving his arms, trying to get him to start it. Send the man in motion. Give it to White. Up the field he goes. That's, Crosby. Crosby West, right up the middle. Touchdown, Riverhawks. 23 yards. Crosby West, the sophomore, getting the start after J.T. White blew his knee in that Skyview game right at the end of that game. Lindsey's on the sidelines with an injury. They're hoping to get him back in the next couple of weeks. And the sophomore puts Ridgeline on top. The PAT is good by Aaron Young, and it's 7-0 Ridgeline, 10:02 to play in the first quarter. Wendy's of Logan is one of our Game of the Week sponsors. Oh my goodness, if you're not hungry now, just listen to me for a minute and you're gonna be hungry when I tell you about a juicy, lightly breaded chicken breast, American cheese, hot and crispy corn and tortilla chips with spicy chipotle sauce, poblano queso, lettuce and tomatoes on a jalapeno cheddar bun. Yeah, it's the loaded nacho chicken sandwich. Everything you want in chicken nachos in a single sandwich at Wendy's. Wendy's, a long-time Game of the Week sponsor. So after 3 and out by Stansbury, Ridgeline takes it 48 yards in 3 plays. And they lead 7-0. This kick's going to make it to the end zone. No, they're going to say he caught it at the 1-yard line. Returned out to the 5 by Bracken Matthews. Matthews, one of a duo of receivers for this Stansbury team that are standouts. Matthews and Rich, the guys to look for, number 5 and number 1. 30 catches each, 750 combined yards, 7 combined touchdowns for the receiving duo of Bracken Matthews and Luke Rich. So Dearden brings his offense back out, now trailing 7-0 with 9:56 to play in the first quarter. They motion Ferry out, looking across the middle into traffic. Dearden throws a strike for 9 yards downfield.
Senior Ridgeline linebacker on
Is
the
that
tackle.
Patch? 17.
Patch. Receiver.
Now they're going to throw a little smoke screen this side, and it's outside of the reach of Hadlock, number 10. And it's going to be 3rd and 1. Stansbury, they go fast. That makes it tough on a defense, right? They don't have much time to decide on what their call is. Again, Ridgeline showing 3 down linemen. They give it not much there for Ferry, and I don't think he got it. He did not. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and then he's thrown backwards.
For the Stallions. Purser.
And Ridgeline forcing another 4th down, 4th and 1. And Coach Eric Alder, whose family is from Cache Valley, he grew up here in Cache Valley. Coached at Skyview on their staff for a lot of years, then down to Ben Lomond before moving on to Stansbury. He's 46-16 in 5 years at Stansbury. He's been a great coach for the Stallions. And they're going to punt it away. He knows, Coach Alder does, it's a long game, and we're early in the process. But Stansbury now needs to bow their necks defensively and not let things get away from them early. 8:50 to play in the first quarter. Ridgeline 7-0, and they have the ball at their own 38-yard line. Took them 3 plays to find the end zone on their last possession.
Dahlia QB, Crosby West, running back.
Daly fakes a give. He's in trouble in the backfield. Gets out of it momentarily. Scooting to the sideline and tripped up out of bounds after a gain of about 5. He did a good job to get out of trouble because Stansbury was in the backfield. It looked like Tyrell Gasu Warren was in there and had a big old mitt on him, and he was able to pull away from that and get to the edge. And brings up 2nd and 5. West, the lone back. Carson Cox at the top of the formation, and they go to Cox, and then he drops it.
Pass incomplete.
He's back and healthy.
Brings up.
Hasn't been fully healthy for a while. It was one of the pluses of the bye week. But with that drop, it's going to be 3rd down. Just a few guys nicked up that Coach Cox told me, yeah, they're, you know, there's guys feeling better, and I hope to really incorporate them. Livingston and Cox to the top of your screen. West in the backfield. They're going to hand it to West. West has an opening, not enough for a 1st down, and there comes a flag. It's going to be a hold. It would be 4th and 3. Let's see if Stansbury wants to back Ridgeline up. They may just say, go ahead and decline it. But Ridgeline on 4th and 3, they're awfully aggressive. Sun's down now here in Cache Valley, and it's starting to cool off. Temperature's supposed to be down into the low 30s, high 20s tonight. Holding on Ridgeline, it is declined, so it's going to be 4th and 3 after the 2-yard run by West. Ridgeline looking to the sideline. The offense still out there, and now they're going to bring the punting unit out. At their own 45-yard line, and knowing how explosive Stansbury can be. Ridgeline seemingly choosing
to receive the punt for
discretion over Valor. Kick's going to bounce down near the 15-yard line and finally die about the 14. And that's where Stansbury will take over with 7:53 to play in this first quarter. 7-0 Ridgeline on top. Tyson Ferry, 815 yards, 5.3 per carry, and 11 touchdowns to lead the Stansbury offense. We mentioned Matthews and Rich as their leading receivers as well. 35 points a game for the Stallions. Defensively, they only give up 19. They're going to pitch it, try to get Ferry to the edge. Ferry feints up the middle, then pops to the outside and picks up about 5. His best carry of the early in the evening here.
Second down.
Stansbury, the number 2 team in Region 10. Park City was number 1. Give it to Ferry. Ferry hit at the line of scrimmage and brought down. He was walloped by Bodie Hansen. No gain.
Brings up 3rd down.
0 for 2 on 3rd down so far. It's 3rd and 4 for Stansbury. Givejon in the backfield now. Number 21. Too wide to the near side and a halfback look in that backfield. Givejon motions out. Here comes some pressure. Hit as he throws. It looked like Dearden was kind of bailing out. I don't know if he got smacked or he just kind of was trying to avoid the hit, and he just throws it out of bounds and way over everybody's head. And Coleman Dearden starts the game 1 for 4 and 0 for 3 on 3rd downs for Stansbury.
Back deep. For the punt, Chase Dustin, senior.
Dustin setting up shop at about his 47-yard line. Coming after that kick again, and they've got it. Ridgeline's got the loose ball. Touchdown, Riverhawks. Will Graham, the senior linebacker, picks it up and hauls it into the end zone, toting the mail for 6. And Ridgeline with a special team score. They came after the first one. Didn't get there, liked what they saw, and came after it again. Aaron Young, the junior kicker, on to attempt the PAT. High snap, they get it down. Young boots it through, and it's 14-0 Ridgeline with 6:42 to play in the first quarter. You're watching the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. You know what? If you are worried about your hearing, it's kind of one of those things that people just don't want to talk about, right? You know, look, it's not bugging anybody but me. I have to say what or huh or pardon me a few times, but you know, it does affect the lives of the people around you. But today's hearing aid technology can improve not only your life, but the lives of those people around you and those that care about you. You'll be able to understand conversations, just have a better quality of life. Dr. Paul Daines will customize a hearing improvement program to meet your unique requirements, whatever they are. Dr. Paul Daines at Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology will help you. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, a Game of the Week sponsor. So Ridgeline with the block kick return for a touchdown. And it's been a tough start for the Stallions, who've won 4 straight coming into this ball game. 4 losses by Stansbury. They lost to Green Canyon. They lost to, early in the season, they lost to Green Canyon. They lost to Ridgeline. They've lost to Park City. The teams that they've lost to are, and they lost to Crimson Cliff. So they've lost to number 1, 2, and 3 ranked teams. And Green Canyon. And Green Canyon got a first-round bye. They're playing up the street, as is Skyview. Skyview and Green Canyon, if they both win, could be playing each other next week. At Skyview, underneath goes Dearden. He's just about picked off. Hunter Knighton sniffed that one out. Knighton, a sophomore. There's a lot of sophomores playing significant minutes for this Ridgeline team, and they've kind of had to with the injuries and things that have happened. Dearden's going to keep it across the middle. Ball's up in the air. The receiver's fighting the defender for it, and I think the receiver came down with it. What a grab. What a grab by Rowley.
With the catch, Dearden with the throw. First down.
And it's a first down. Dearden, a lot of time. Now it's starting to run out. He jumps out of there, gets up to about the 40, steps out of bounds, just across the 40.
Gets run out of bounds.
Picks up 9. Good job by the defensive secondary to give him no one to throw it to, and then a good job by Dearden to get a 9-yard gain off of it. Stansbury now, maybe something going on. Their first down of the ball game came just a moment ago. Now they're sitting in 2nd and 1, and they trade receivers, now 3 in a bunch on this side. Give it off to Givejohn. Givejohn looking for the edge, nothing. In fact, he lost a yard, half a yard.
For the Stallions. Crew Jones on the tackle.
That means it's going to be 3rd down again. 3rd and a yard. Ridgeline walking up that outside backer and showing a 5-man front. Now they drop him back. That's Clark. He drops back to the middle. Give it up the middle. Nothing there. Good second effort. But I don't know if he got enough to get there. They're going to spot him right back at the original line of scrimmage, as he was hit originally by Clark. Nothing for Daines. Daines is their bigger back, and now it's 4th and 1. They punted on 4th and 1 earlier. Now they're going to go for it. See if they try to get Ridgeline offsides. Under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter, 14-0 Ridgeline, and now a timeout called by Stansbury because this down is a big deal. A 7-0 is one thing. At 14-0, if you don't get it and you turn it over in your own territory against a team that's got all sorts of confidence, yeah, things could get ugly fast. Seeing if there's any other scores showing yet in 4A. A lot of these other games kicked off tonight the same time as this one. Timpanogos leads Mountain Crest 7-0. Skyview up on Bear River 14-0 in the early going, and Desert Hills 14-0 over Snow Canyon in the early going. They bring the offense back out onto the field on 4th and 1. They have one man out, everybody in tight. They're going to give it to a big lineman that's in, and he's going to gain the first down marker and more. Falanisi Vaca picks up 5 yards.
First down, Stallions.
And a first down on 4th down. And Stansbury needed that in the worst way. They don't list heights and weights, but Vaca is about the size of a Toyota. 4.5 to play in this first quarter, 14-0 Ridgeline. Stansbury on the move. Dearden's going to keep it in the backfield. He cuts it back inside and picks up 2.
Dearden on the keeper.
And we got a flag in the defensive backfield. It's downfield. It's downfield 7 or 8 yards. Let's see what the call is. They're going to talk about it, the two officials. Now the white hat comes to the near sideline. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Stansbury. Oh my. So for Stansbury, that's their second penalty, their second big penalty. And they call another, they call one on Ridgeline as well. Ridgeline's backing up, but they called it on both teams. So, you know, we've seen it where they, or did they switch their call? I'm looking down at my stat sheet. But the original call was unsportsmanlike on Stansbury. But now they're marking it off against Ridgeline. So they just pointed the wrong way. It was interesting. I didn't see what happened.
Stallions.
I thought it was interesting they'd called it on Stansbury originally. Give it John in the backfield. They're going to fake it to him. Dearden. Lots of time. Time running out. Dearden gets rid of it. There's a receiver on the ground for Stansbury down at the first down marker, and they're going to call pass interference or defensive holding, I believe, over there on Charlie Booth. Oh boy, they're saying that same thing they called on Stansbury to start the game. They put 2 fists together, that illegal hit. It's another 15 yards, so 30 yards worth of penalties for Ridgeline on this drive for Stansbury. And now Stansbury's down at the Ridgeline 23-yard line. Ball's on the turf. Give it John trying to take it. Dearden trying to take it back, and it's a 2-yard loss.
Recovered by Stallions. Brings up second down.
Givajohn's been out there this whole series. I haven't seen Tyson Ferry at all. I'm looking on the sideline to see if he's over there. Underneath, Dearden looks, has his man, ball dropped. Dearden put it right on Jace Rowley, but Rowley couldn't come up with it. There were a lot of Riverhawk hands in there grabbing at it. And it's third down. Third and almost 13. They need to get inside the 13-yard line for a first down. They're at the 25. Dearden lofting it out there. Another flag into the secondary. That one was thrown way before the ball got there, so I wonder if the defender reached out and grabbed the receiver or something. Because when I looked up, they weren't close enough to each other to even be touching, holding on the defense. So as the receiver was coming out of his
holding on the defense
break, he must have reached out and grabbed him. The Ridgeline sideline did not like that call. And the officials telling him, talk to the hand. We've watched the officials this year. They have not taken any guff. So that's 3 big penalties. It ends up being about an 8-yard penalty on half the distance. 3 penalties all on Ridgeline, 38 yards worth on this possession. And Stansbury has 3rd and 3. They're 0 for on 3rd down. Give it John. Accelerates as he hits the hole, but that hole closed in a hurry. It's going to be 4th down. They went for it once already. I'm sure they'll go for it again.
Ball carrier, give it John for the Stallions. Stacked up by many Riverhawk.
Give it John picked up about a yard. It's going to be 4th
down.
And a short 2. More like a yard and a half. Under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. 14-0 Riverhawks. It's 4th down. Dearden's going to keep it. Underneath, he's got his man. First down and goal for Stansbury. 7-yard gain.
That's a first down for the Stallions.
And they're 2 for 2 on 4th down. Stansbury looking to draw within a touchdown. As they're down 14-0 here in the early going. 2:20 to play in the first quarter. Give it John motions out of the backfield. Dearden looking at the little shovel pass as they cut the defensive lineman, but they got back up in a hurry.
Pass to Maxwell.
And they were able to pull down Maxwell for a gain of a yard. 4 of 9 for 28 yards for Dearden. 4 wide receivers. Give it John the only back in the backfield. We haven't seen Ferry at all on this possession. He was pretty ineffective on the first 2. 6 yards on 5 carries. Give it John motions out. Dearden looking underneath, has his man. Good grab, big hit, touchdown.
Maxwell with the catch.
Maxwell pulls it in
Dearden with the pass.
from 8 yards out.
Stallions.
And the Stallions are in the ball game. PAT up. PAT good. 1:35 to play in the first quarter. It's 14-7. Ridgeline. The Riverhawks will have the ball when we come back. Aspen Dental is Game of the Week sponsor. Aspen Dental of Cache Valley. They are all about comfort, your comfort. As you go there, nobody likes to go to the dentist, but they do their best to make you as comfortable as possible. If you need general dentistry, cosmetic dentistry, implants, or orthodontics for you or your family, they do it all and more. Aspen Dental, a Game of the Week sponsor. Nice looking drive there by Stansbury, aided substantially by penalties, 38 yards worth. So they'll be talking on the Ridgeline sideline about maybe not being so handsy with the receivers. and one was an unsportsmanlike short kick. Dustin can't bring it in. Ball's free. Looks like Ridgeline got on top of it. It got to his chest, bounced right through. I'll tell you what, a football on a cold night, it's almost better for that ball to be wet than to be cold. A cold football is slippery. So now Ridgeline looking at 14-7, and Stansbury with new life as they're back in the ball game. Everything going Ridgeline's way, and Stansbury finally settling down and putting the ball in the end zone. Handoff. Good carry and gain by Crosby West, the sophomore, picking up about 4.
Danes on the tackle for the Stallions, amongst others.
It's closer to 5 for West. Another one of those sophomores pressed into action because of injury. He's their 3rd string running back. Tight formation with 2 receivers to this near side. Fake it to West, look underneath, they find Cox. Carson Cox has a first down out near the 45-yard line.
Wearing number 3, Carson. The catch, first down.
16 yards.
Pass by Daly. Danes on the tackle.
Daly 3 of 4, 46 yards. 40 seconds to play in the first quarter. 14-7 Ridgeline. Out in space is West. West picks up a first down and then tiptoes out of bounds after a gain of 11.
First down, pushed out of bounds, but not after a first down. After the run, after the catch.
And Ridgeline into Stansbury territory. Clock stops as West tiptoes out of bounds. Now they'll flip the formation and look this way with it. Cox, as it goes over the hands of the linebacker, hauls it in, and down he goes, and it's another first down, an 11-yard gain.
Danes and Matthews, but not after a reception from Carson.
Cox 2 catches, 27 yards as we run toward the end of the first quarter. 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Ridgeline's going to get another playoff. Fake the give. Daly unloads, got a man down there, and Livingston brings it in. With 1 second left in the first quarter, he's inside the 10-yard line. And is that going to be the end of the quarter? It is. 14-7, Ridgeline leads as we head for the second. Well, just down the street from me, I can almost smell it from here, is Hoo Ha. Yeah, one of my kids loves the place. Anytime it's like, hey, where do you want to go? And if it's her pick, she wants to go to Hoo Ha. You can create your own unlimited stir fry. It's the hottest Asian restaurant in Logan. It's not a buffet. It's a fresh market of ingredients and unique sauces where you're the chef. You build your own stir fry masterpiece from their selection of meats, seafood, noodles, veggies, and Asian-inspired sauces. Then watch as their grill warriors cook it to perfection. They have delicious dining options for the whole family to enjoy. They are Hoo Ha Mongolian Grill, a Game of the Week sponsor. Well, Ridgeline gets on the board first. On their first possession, they march it downfield and put it in the end zone. Then a couple of possessions later, they block a punt that's returned for a touchdown. They led 14-0. Stansbury answered with a drive of their own just a few minutes ago and made it 14-7. Now Ridgeline is first and goal at the 7-yard line. Give it in the middle, untouched, into the end zone. Goes Crew Jones from 8 yards out.
Touchdown, Ridgeline.
I mean, pick your largest vehicle, and that's what you could have driven through that hole. So 2 rushing touchdowns for this offense. This offense will look at what the defense is doing, and they'll take what the defense will give them. You want to shut down the pass? That's fine, we'll run it. You want to try to shut down the run? Okay, we'll throw it around the yard. Young on for the PAT, and it's good. 4 seconds into the second quarter, and it's 21-7 Ridgeline.
21-7.
Rich's Cars and Credit is a Game of the Week sponsor. Yeah, at Rich's, their goal is to make your car buying a stress-free and hassle-free experience. It's a big task, I know, but they do a good job of it down there at Rich's. You can get your financing there. They've got a great selection of vehicles for you to pick out. So when you're in the market for a vehicle, head down to Rich's Cars and Credit, a Game of the Week sponsor. Well, we kind of expected a shootout tonight. Ridgeline got on the board 2 touchdowns ahead early. But now I think we got that shootout we were looking for. Look out. Reverse on the kick return. And it's a house call for Stansbury. Bracken Matthews takes it the distance. They didn't get it to the end zone. They kicked it short, and Stansbury ran the reverse, and nobody was home on that backside. And Matthews keeps Stansbury in it. Now this is what we were expecting. Points coming fast and furious. Kick by Danes is up and good, 21-14. Ridgeline leading by a touchdown. Old Grist Mill. Their bread is simple, moist, and wholesome. They make bread the way it was meant to be made. They have select high-protein wheat, which they mill daily in their bakery. And that's what accounts for their bread's rich, fresh flavor. They only use the freshest and finest quality ingredients. They know you'll see the difference. Drop in to the Old Grist Mill, try a free slice of hot bread. We know you're going to enjoy it. The Old Grist Mill, the Game of the Week sponsor. (21-14). Ridgeline leading Stansbury. Stansbury spotted Ridgeline a couple of touchdowns, and now both teams have scored a special teams touchdown. We'll see if one of the teams scores a defensive touchdown tonight. 2 rushing touchdowns by Ridgeline, as their running game has been on point this evening. (42 yards on 5 carries. They've run the ball 5 times for 42 yards. It's just over 8 yards a carry. Motion man, give it to West. West into the secondary. West picking up 13.
Sophomore Crosby West moving the chains. This time, Crosby West heading south.
West is averaging 10 yards a carry. This time they get a hold of him. Looks like it's going to be another flag on Ridgeline. Ridgeline had 3 penalties on defensively on one series a little bit ago. Personal foul, face mask. Okay, they threw it right into the pile where you'd think you'd usually see a hold, but that one's going to be on Stansbury. Boy, and you look up Providence Canyon there, that moon's starting to come up. Maybe we'll be able to get a look at it after one of these plays, but Ridgeline, after that penalty, is ready to go up near midfield. Stansbury creeping everybody up, bringing extra rushers. Dally hangs in there, looking for Livingston, and it's thrown out into the field of play while Livingston had run out of bounds. It's second down. There's a look at that moon coming over the mountains there up. It's Providence Canyon. Beautiful evening. I've been doing this long enough that I've done games in every kind of weather. Sat in snowstorms, plenty of rain, boiling hot in the early part of the season. Never gets old. 2nd and 10. Dalley's going to give it to West. West waits, picks his way through, gets a first down.
Crosby West, right up the middle.
Did I mention he was a sophomore? But he's got that offensive line in front of him. Coach Cox had praise for them. Saying that they've really played well. And are they not going to give him a first down? I mean, it looks like it's right there. They may measure it, but they didn't automatically just call
really
it.
Close to a first
now
down.
They're going to eyeball it.
As a note, as a point of interest, right above Providence Canyon, we have the beautiful moon coming up on this
I think they're going to measure.
Beautiful evening of high school football under the lights here at Millville.
Because that is close enough. You can't eyeball that and say definitively. The ball's nose up on the 42-yard line of Stansbury. And that's where the sticks were. It was right at the 42-yard line on the sideline. Let's see. That looks like a first down. Ooh, it might be a chain link short. It's a credit card short. So Ridgeline's going to bring in a few different personnel. And it's going to be 3rd down and inches. See if they run Dally from the gun. Or if they put him up under center. This close, I would think you'd put him up under center. And that's where he's going with 3 backs behind him. Dalley's going to hand it off. Plenty of yardage for the first down for Crew Jones.
Jones up the middle.
He picks up
Stumbling
3.
For a first down, moving the chains. First down, Ridgeline. Patch on the tackle for the Stallions.
Ridgeline at the 39-yard line of Stansbury, leading 21-14. The winner of this game gets the winner of Provo and Payson. I believe that game would be at Provo. West motions out of the backfield. Here comes everybody looking underneath the Livingston. He's trying to race to the sideline. Now steps back inside. And after all that, a pickup of about 4.
And making some moves for an extra few yards.
3 catches, 44 yards for Livingston.
Gain of about 5.
And the clock dips under 10 minutes to play in the half. 21-14 Ridgeline, and the Riverhawks, can they keep it going? Because Stansbury's got their scoring machine going now. after a slow start. They run West out of the backfield again. Here comes pressure. Dally steps up, looks underneath, has a man. It's Knighton.
Pass complete. Number 1, sophomore, 109.
10 yards and a first down.
First down.
Another one of those sophomores.
Nunley on the tackle for the Stallions.
Got bad news for the region. There's a lot of sophomores underclassmen on this Ridgeline team that's already really good. They might be good for a minute. The battles we've seen between them and Skyview have been epic. Mountain Crest is up and coming. Green Canyon was a surprise this year. 1st and 10, Livingston goes in motion. Give it to West, another big hole. West scampers down near the 10-yard line.
Crosby West.
13
Up
yards.
the middle. Big gain, moves the chains. First down,
6 carries,
Ridgeline.
65 yards for Crosby West. As the Ridgeline offense continues to show that they've got all the answers for this Stansbury defense. Stansbury with 7 up at the line. Here they come. West hitting the backfield and thrown down. That was such thing as a run blitz, and that's what that looked like that time.
For the Stallions.
West loss of
Crosby
a
West on
yard.
the run.
Ridgeline taking their time now. It's 2nd down and 11. One of the few times tonight they've been behind the sticks. West in the backfield, Jones in that halfback position, Livingston in the slot, Cox outside of him, rolling toward Cox, looking underneath, firing it complete to Jones. Jones down near the 5-yard line.
Dally to Crew Jones.
8 yards, it's going to be about 3rd and 2. And Dalley's over 100 yards tonight. He's 8 of 10 for 101 yards. Check that, missed one, 9 of 11. Give it to Jones. Jones sidesteps a man in the backfield. He's got a first down. It's 1st and goal at the 1-yard line as he picks up 6
Powers
yards.
way, close to the goal line.
This
Go,
Ridgeline
Ridgeline.
offensive line opening up big holes for these running backs. 1st and goal at the 1. Dally had gone all the way to the sideline to get the play, and now he jogs back. 15 seconds on the play clock, and they break the huddle with 13 seconds. Now they're under 10. They get everybody set. Big formation. Turn around, hand it to Jones. Jones with tacklers around his feet, leans forward. Touchdown. This near side official called it. The far side official never signaled, but the near side official running right down the line had a look at it, and he called touchdown. Jones from a yard. His 2nd touchdown of the evening. And Young on for the PAT. Kicks up and good. 28-14. This is how many points Ridgeline scored in the whole game last time these two teams played. 6:28 to play in the first half. Ridgeline on top. Custom Fence is a Game of the Week sponsor. Custom Fence will bring you privacy, security, and peace of mind. Choose any style, residential, commercial, or even specialty fences. Go online at customfence.com to schedule your free estimate. Whatever fencing job you need done, they can do it. Custom Fence, a Game of the Week sponsor. A wild first half. Plenty of offensive touchdowns with a couple of special teams touchdowns mixed in. A punt block return for a score by Ridgeline. A long kick return for a touchdown by Stansbury. Let's see if this one gets to the end zone. It's not going to. Is this Matthews again? It is. He took the last one to the house. He took this one to the 19. So he was stopped at the corner of the neighborhood just before his house by 2 blocks.
We have a lost single ear pod up here in the booth.
Possible development.
A single white ear pod.
In this ballgame we've kind of been watching is Tyson Ferry, the starting running back. Okay, he's back now. He did not play at all in the last possession. He's on the field now, and he's got the football. He's their leading rusher. And he had a tough start to this game, but he picks up about 5 there. He's got 6 carries for 11 yards. He didn't play at all on the last offensive possession. Now they're going to pitch it to him. Trying to get to the edge as Ferry's turned back in, and nothing there. No gain. Where they have bottled him up. And it's 3rd down. 3rd and 5. 0 for 5 on 3rd downs for Stansbury. They're 2 of 2 on 4th down, though. 5.5 to play in the first half. 28-14 Ridgeline. Dearden has time. Looks underneath. One hops it. Would have been short of the first down anyway as he's looking for Ferry. Looking for a flag, and there's one in the backfield holding on Stansbury.
Passing complete, intended for Ferry.
They're asking Travis Cox if he's going to decline it, and he's going to say, yes, I am.
Declined, 4th down.
So Dearden on the evening is 5 of 11, 36 yards and a touchdown. That one, he was throwing it on the run. Ridgeline wants a timeout.
Timeout, Ridgeline.
They had the appropriate number of players on the field. Coach Cox this year, he's being the head coach. For a couple years, he ran the defense. This year, he's ceded those duties, and he's being the head coach. Well, doing a little bit of everything. He told me, yeah, I got fired. I got fired as the defensive coordinator. Known Travis Cox ever since he was a kid, coached him a little bit in Little League for 1 year. That whole group that he played with that age, there's a lot of good ball players that age that ended up playing up at Mountain Crest. And of course, Travis Cox played at Utah State. A rich tradition, the Cox family of coaching. His dad, a longtime coach in the Valley, and Bear River before that. High kick that takes a Stansbury bounce and stops at the 41. Ridgeline gets the football to start the second half. I'm sure they would like nothing more than to march down here, put more points on the board, and then get the ball to start the second half. Put a little distance between them and Stansbury, because Stansbury is explosive. A 14-point lead is not super safe against the Stallions.
Halftime, we have the Mariettes and the cheerleaders. Stick around for some great halftime entertainment.
Daly with West behind him. West, the 3rd string running back, pressed into service because of injury. They're going to hand it to him. He's got a pulling guard out in front of him. Instead of following him, he cuts it back inside. He should have followed him.
Running back for
Listen, sophomore, if you got a great big guy like that running out in front of you, run where he goes. He's protecting you. Hard to complain about anything West has done tonight, as he has 8 carries for 67 yards and a touchdown. He opened the scoring with a 23-yard jaunt right up the middle. 2nd and 7. Daly looking for his man, has him. Coming out of the break, the ball is right there for Peterson. Sam Peterson.
Number 21, Samuel Peterson with the reception.
14 yards, Peterson's first catch of the night. Tenth completion for Daly. Clock runs, 4 minutes to play in the first half. Fake the give, throw it outside to Livingston. Great blocking by Jones on the edge, and now Livingston just goes down.
Graham Livingston with the reception.
Graham Livingston picks up about 14 again, back-to-back 14-yard gains. And Ridgeline in business. 4 catches, 58 yards for Livingston, and they huddle up. Jones and Knighton were doing a great job out there blocking on that little quick hitter. Jones, your halfback. Livingston in motion. Fake the give. Straight back. Daly over the middle. Man wide open. Touchdown. Ridgeline. 27 yards. Knighton from Daly.
To his friend Hunter Knighton. Touchdown.
Knighton with 48 yards and a touchdown now on 3 catches. Ridgeline's offensive assault continues.
Kick up and kick is good.
Booted through, and it's 35-14. Ridgeline with 3:14 to play in the first half. You're watching the game of the week on the Valley Channel.
And in case you missed that one, Nate Daly, perfect throw to touchdown.
KSM Music, they know music at KSM Music, and boy, do they have a sale for you. Is it still October? Yeah, it is, for a few more days. So hurry into KSM Music because they're having their Rocktober sale. Up to $640 off all electrical guitars, basses, and select amplifiers all month long. You've got a few days left to get to KSM Music for their Rocktober sale. KSM Music, a Game of the Week sponsor. Wow, an offensive explosion tonight by Ridgeline. This kick picked up at about the 5-yard line. Picked up late, and Ridgeline has enough time to get down there and cover the kick and drop the runner for a loss. That was Patch, who was looking to pick it up, and it kind of took a funny bounce on him. It took him a minute to secure it, and by then the Ridgeline special teams were down there to cut him down at the 5-yard line. Stansbury down by 3 scores with 3:09 to play in the half. Will take over at their own 6 is where they end up putting it. Dearden in a tight spot. Ferry behind him. Fakes the give to Ferry. Looking underneath, it's not there. Dearden running for his life, thrown down in the end zone. He was caught out at the 2-yard line, then driven back to the end zone. No safety. His forward progress took him out, dropped him at about the 2, and then they pushed him back. They're going to actually spot him at the 3, so it's a loss of 3. They were looking for the screen to this near side, and Ridgeline had sniffed it out. So then Dearden was improvising. And now Stansbury really in trouble. Dearden in his own end zone. Looking, unloads. A little bit behind the intended receiver, and not a smart play by the defensive back. Cooper Clark walloped Noah Nunley. Nunley, the ball was behind him, he dropped it, and Clark hit him in the back. I don't think Clark knew he didn't have the ball yet, I don't know, because his back was to him, but he walloped him late, and the backside official, the back judge, threw the flag immediately. Didn't even think, didn't even hesitate, and that's going to be a flag 10 times out of 10. So now that gets Stansbury out of their own end zone and gives them the ball up at about the 17-yard line. Ferry running the wheel route. He's not home. Dearden throws back underneath across the field. Dangerous pass. And it falls incomplete. Dearden just had nowhere to go with it. Ferry was running the wheel route out of the backfield. But Ridgeline was covering. And then Dearden had to once again improvise.
Brings up second down.
Dearden threw for over 300 yards in the first outing. Tonight he's got 36, and he's been under pressure. He's been able to get rid of it and not take sacks.
2:26 on the play clock.
2:26, they just said to set the play clock to. And it's 2nd and 10. Now they run the little quick screen, and it's dropped. And Clark there to make sure it wasn't going anywhere.
Pass incomplete.
Dearden threw one behind his receiver earlier, but his receivers need to help him out a little bit here tonight. They've dropped a few catchable balls. Now 5 wide receivers on 3rd down. 0 for 6 on 3rd down for Stansbury. 3 wide to Dearden's right, 2 to this side. 3 down linemen, that's what they're going to rush. Dearden steps up, flings it downfield. It's going to be picked off. Picked off by Ridgeline. Dustin, Trace Dustin. There was a lot of hand fighting going on. No flag came out, and Dustin picks it off. And Ridgeline with the football again, and 2:11 to play in the half, and they are at the Stansbury 46-yard line, and Stansbury hasn't slowed Ridgeline down yet tonight offensively. I mentioned it on the last possession, and it's worth mentioning again that Ridgeline gets the ball to start the second half. So that could spell disaster for Stansbury if Ridgeline keeps up the offensive prowess that they've shown thus far and gets into the end zone again before the half, and then they get it to start the second half. It's been a long half for the Stallions. Daly throws underneath to Cox. Cox hit immediately, steps out of it, and then out of bounds after a gain of about 6.
Carson, reception.
Cox 3 catches, 33 yards. Clock stops as he stepped out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Crosby West, 8 carries, 69 yards and a touchdown. 67 yards, excuse me. Now he's going to motion out of the backfield. Looking down the sideline, and the ball falls incomplete. He was looking for Knighton, and the defensive back was right there. I think that was Givajon. He was right in Knighton's pocket, and in fact, I think the ball hit Givajon's back shoulder. And now it'll be 3rd down and 4. For Daly, only his 3rd incompletion. Check that, 4th. He's 13 of 17. 162 yards and a touchdown. 3 touchdowns rushing for Ridgeline. And now they're gonna hit Livingston. He turns the corner, steps out of bounds. He only picks up a couple. So now it's gonna be 4th down and 2 yards. I would imagine at this point in time that Ridgeline would go for it.
On the defense. Fourth and 2.
4th and 2. They're 1 for 1 on 4th
Maybe
down.
4th and 1. Now it looks like 4th and 2.
It's a short 2, but it's 2. West in the backfield. Everybody up for Stansbury. Daly's going to keep it. Now he's got a man running wide open. Knighton caught short of the goal line, but he was wide open as everybody was up looking for the run. 35 yards on 4th and 2.
Knighton with the reception, bringing the ball all the way to the 2-yard line. 1st and goal for Ridgeline.
4 catches, 83 yards and a touchdown for Knighton. Daly goes to 199 yards through the air with that little jump pass. They need to hurry. 5 seconds on the play clock. Jumbo formation, and a timeout's going to be called here by Ridgeline. 1:13 to play in the half. Ridgeline knocking at the door again.
Ridgeline.
I mean, Ridgeline's offense has just been a road grader this evening. Stansbury defensively gives up 19 points a game. They've given up 35 in the first half here tonight. This is not a bad defense that they're playing against. Skyview leads Bear River by the same score we have here, 35-14. Provo, Payson, 7-7. The winner of this game takes on the winner of that game. Desert Hills, 28-6 over Snow Canyon. Timpanogos leads Mountain Crest, 13-0. Green Canyon trails Salem Hills 3-0. Dixie and Park City are tied at 7. Crimson Cliffs, who are a lot of people's favorites to win it all, 35-0 over Cedar City. A lot of people love Crimson Cliffs, and they are a heck of a ball club. But I think we got a couple of teams here in Cache Valley that are going to have something to say about it. Speaking of Ridgeline and Skyview. Skyview in particular, I think they're just built for the playoffs. They can run the ball, but Ridgeline's showing me tonight, boy, they can too. Their offensive line play has been as advertised. Dave Caressa helping coach that offensive line. He's been a fixture on Valley sidelines for, I think, 40 years. He's going on 40 years, I believe. 37, I think is what somebody told me. Here's the give. Jones makes the first man miss, and then he stood up. So Stansbury saying, all right, we're not going to just roll over. Jones may have lost a yard. He did, and that's the first run tonight, second run tonight that's gone for negative yards. Only 2 rushes for negative yards for Ridgeline. Both were -1. 2nd and goal. 40 seconds to play in the half. Ridgeline at the 4, leading 35-14. Livingston in motion. Daly to Livingston. Touchdown! He fired that in there so fast, you could hardly see it. Kid plays baseball, doesn't he? I mean, he fired that thing in there, and Livingston catches it for 6.
To Graham Livingston.
And now Daly over 200 yards in the half. 2:03. With 28 seconds to play in the first half, Ridgeline leads Stansbury 42 to 14. The Logo Shop's been a long-time sponsor of programming on the Valley Channel, especially the Game of the Week. Their motto is we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. But man, when they say all kinds of stuff, they really mean a little bit of everything. Trunk organizers, computer bags, office items, drinkware, all sorts of technology items like speakers, power banks, mice, flash drives, and more. The Logo Shop, a Game of the Week sponsor. Well, we figured to see offensive fireworks tonight, and there have been 8 touchdowns scored in this first half. But I figured there might be, 4 apiece. Ridgeline scored 6 of those touchdowns. 2 of the 8 touchdowns have been special teams variety, as they just squibbed this kick. Big hit on the return, and Stansbury will start out near the 35-yard line with 22 seconds left in the half. 42 to 14. Ridgeline.
And Cohen Richards.
With 22 seconds left in this first half. Everything Ridgeline has done offensively has worked. They have spent their bye week wisely, it would seem, because they have looked sharp. Even they're running a third string running back, and he's closer to 100 yards, and he is 50, I believe. I'd have to take another look at those numbers. Say give to Ferry, he picks up a yard. It's been a tough night rushing for their leading rusher. He's got 12 yards on 8 carries. He comes into this game with 815 yards, averaging over 5 yards a carry. And I think Stansbury's just going to get to the locker room. 42 to 14. Ridgeline leads Stansbury as we head for the half. You're watching the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel.
Water is always described as being tranquil. Then you dive in and you're just moving through it and you're ripping through it, and it's not tranquil at all. All I want to do with my life is to be a United States Navy fighter pilot. I can just see myself whizzing through the air, fly high and fly fast. That's what I want to do.
She really feels the call to serve our country, and she is going to do it regardless of what that requires of her.
Nothing motivates me more than when someone tells me that I can't do something.
Becoming a fighter pilot is something people might not expect a woman to do, but she does it anyway, and she doesn't care.
I feel like I gotta stick it to him. I gotta prove him wrong.
That really makes her a role model for other girls.
That's another stereotype broken by Wells Johnson.
Wells is the person that has the most grit, the most determination, the one that won't give up, that is very relentless.
It's like Teddy Roosevelt said, nothing in this world is worth having or worth doing unless it means effort, pain, and difficulty. Everything that I do with school and with sport, it's all been working towards this one thing. It's how I can use my gifts and talents to serve the world. I know that this is God's path for me. The sky is kind of like water, where it's tranquil and peaceful. And then up in a plane, tearing through the sky. I can just picture myself flying. I can see that so vividly.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Wendy's of Cache Valley. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Bring back what you have been missing. Aspen Dental. Get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. Custom Fence Company. Privacy, security, peace of mind. Anderson Seed and Garden. Growing better gardeners. The Logo Shop. We logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. KSM means music. Music is all we do. Factory Pizzeria. We're open late after the game. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 30 years. Ridgeline gets the ball to start the second half. Again, they're down to their third string running back as JT White hurt his knee against Skyview earlier this season. He's still their leading rusher, even after only playing a handful of games, 673 yards and 6 touchdowns. Lindsey came on to finish the season, ended up with 559 yards, then broke his arm. They're hoping to have him back in a couple of weeks. Livingston, their leading receiver, he's third in 4A in yards and 5th in touchdowns as the kick goes into the end zone. The winner of tonight's game plays the winner of the Provo-Payson ball game. That one's going on right now, like so many other games underway.
Ball spotted on the 20.
Friday evening. And we'll check out some of those scores as we move along here in this second half. So Ridgeline leads 42-14, and they have the ball to start the second half. Fake to West, throw to the edge to Cox. Cox finally healthy after being not that healthy the last few weeks. Catches it and steps out of bounds after a gain of close to 10. They're going to move the chains. So it is 10. Cox now with 43 yards on 4 catches. Green Canyon leads Salem Hills 12-3. Green Canyon and Skyview may be our game of the week next week, as those two look to match up if they both win. Here's the give to West. West cuts back inside. West with another big opening, and he picks up 8. He's up to 75 yards on the evening. Skyview leading Bear River by the same score we have here, 42-14. Park City struggling with Dixie, 14-7 in that ball game. Desert Hills leads Snow Canyon, 28-6. Timpanogos blanking Mountain Crest. That one's still going on, 20-0. Provo leads Payson, 14-7. Crimson Cliffs all over Cedar City, 35-0. Daly across the middle. Livingston reaches out and hauls it in. Nifty move, and he's to the 45. A 25-yard gain.
With the catch and the yards after, moves the chains.
89 yards now for Livingston. That was a nice grab. He was behind him and he reached back, grabbed at a cold ball. We've talked about it before. Football is a little bit slick on a cold night. Now those gloves they have on are a little bit tacky, so that helps. But still, West grabbed by Vaca, and Vaca's not going to let him go. We saw Vaca earlier on a 4th down as a ball carrier, and he was a load. West loses a yard.
On the carry for Ridgeline.
I was down on the field as these two teams were warming up, and West may be a sophomore, but he's got a pretty good build on him for a young kid. He's built like a running back. He's built pretty solid. Strong base. 2nd and 11. Daly unloads. Picked off. Give it John. Stands in front of it. Heads down the far sideline and then is tripped up in Ridgeline territory. So Ridgeline with their first turnover of the night as Daly throws it right to Givejohn. His man was a little bit behind Givejohn. Givejohn had the nice angle on it, and he reached out and picked it off and brought it back. So Ridgeline's offense was humming along again, and now Stansbury with a chance to cut into this 42-14 lead. 9:45 to play in the third. Dearden, tough first half. Unloads down the sideline. Has a man, but he can't bring it in. It was a really good pass because he put it right on the receiver but the defender was also there and the receiver couldn't secure it. As the defensive back sticking his paws in there, knocking it away.
For the Stallions.
2nd and 10. In motion goes Ferry. Dearden underneath, off the hands of the receiver, incomplete, 3rd and 10. Mentioned it in the first half how the receivers for Stansbury really need to give their quarterback a little bit of help. Ferry heads off, and as he was running across the field, he's running with a little bit of a hitch in his giddy up. I wonder if he might be dinged a little bit. New running back in there. I think it might be Danes. It is, the big guy, and they give it to him. And he picks up 3. It's going to be 4th and 7. 0 for 8 now on 3rd downs.
Danes on the carry. Brings up 4th down.
And really, at this point, you do have to go for it if you're Stansbury. You're down 42-14. You're not going to get many more chances, and your defense hasn't been able to stop Ridgeline until that last possession. Batted down by Crew Jones. They had Danes. Danes was in the flat, and he was wide open.
Batted down by
And Crew Jones reaches a paw up there and knocks it out of the sky. And Ridgeline takes over less than a minute after they turned it over.
Turnover on downs. Ridgeline football.
Ridgeline defensively has been impressive tonight. Stansbury, don't get it twisted, folks, as the kids would say. Stansbury is a very good offensive football team, and Ridgeline has pretty much shut them down tonight. Bringing extra rushers now. Daly hangs in there. Cox had a man holding him and no call. And the whole sideline erupts. Givajon had a hold of Cox's jersey. You could see it being pulled from clear up here at the top of the booth. And the official down there couldn't see it. 2nd down. There's a lot of things we can see from the top of the booth that a guy down at field level might not see. To be fair to the officials, it's a tough job. Underneath, looking for a screen. They've got it. Here comes West, looking for the sidelines. Gets a block at the 50, and there's a flag, and that flag should be on Stansbury as the offensive lineman was going to make a block, and the Stansbury player took him out at the knees, and that's not legal anymore. That's a completion. Good for 16, 17 yards, but let's see the call. That should be on Stansbury. You can't do that anymore. And it is. It's on Stansbury. That's what they used to teach. That's what they used to teach defensive backs, right? If you're coming up against a big lineman, well, you get down and you get down his legs, make a pile. They're not letting you do that anymore. And for Stansbury, only their 3rd penalty. They've played a clean ball game that way. 8:48 to play in this 3rd quarter, and Ridgeline deep in Stansbury territory again at the 29. Daly gets rid of it, finds West. West hauled down. That tackle saved a lot of yards. It was about a 4-yard gain, and there was a lot of room in front of him if the tackle isn't made.
Brought down by Danes for the Stallions.
It was Danes, 22, that brought him down. Fake a give, look underneath, and they're looking for Knighton. And Knighton turned, and the ball was kind of down around his shins, and he couldn't get to it. Daly has been right on target all evening long. That was one of the few errant passes he's thrown. 18 of 22, 258 yards, and a couple of touchdowns for Dowley. You'd imagine this is probably 4-down territory for Ridgeline. They lead 42-14. You're kind of in that no man's land. It's an awfully long field goal. Flag thrown, they blow the play dead. Offsides, I think, is going to be the call on Stansbury. Let's see. Yeah, offsides on the Stallions, so it's going to be 3rd down and 2 instead. Stansbury only 2 penalties in the first half, and now they have 2 on this drive here in the 3rd quarter. If you're just joining us, Ridgeline scored first. The 23-yard touchdown run by Crosby West, the 3rd-string running back, pressed into action, the sophomore, because of injuries. Then they blocked a punt, returned it for a touchdown, 14-0. So they give it to West again. West bounces off a would-be tackler, picks up a 1st down. From the 22 down to the 13. It's 9 yards for West. Stansbury came back and scored to make it 14-7. Ridgeline marched right down and answered 21-7, and then Stansbury returned the ensuing kick for a touchdown, 21-14. And then Ridgeline went on to score 21 unanswered points, and they're looking to make it 28 unanswered. Dowley loses it, slips out of his hand, and it's recovered by Vaca. I think he could almost call that an incomplete pass, but it came out the back of his hand. He went to throw it. We talked about how it's slick when it's cold, and as he went to come forward with it, it just slipped out of his hand. And Vaca dives on it for another turnover. That's 2 turnovers now in this 3rd quarter by Dowley. He threw the interception and then that fumble. Stansbury couldn't capitalize on the interception. See what they can do after the fumble. Dearden's got Ferry behind him. 3 receivers wide, 2 to the near side. He's looking near side. Complete to the 25, stepping out of a tackle and up to the 33-yard line and very close to a 1st down is Maxwell.
Maxwell on the reception for the Stallions.
And they're going to say it's 10 yards.
Hit and tackle by many Ridgeline defenders. 1st down.
Only the 6th completion for Dearden. He's been a pretty efficient passer this season. Throws it across the middle, and it's almost picked off. It went off the hands of Hadlock, who has been without a catch. He had a big game against these guys last time, or a big game last week against Jordan, and he's been shut out so far in this ball game. Hadlock, they fake the give on that sweep. And Dearden keeps it for 3.
Quarterback sneak, tackle by
0 for 8 on 3rd downs. It's 3rd down again, 3rd and 7. Givachon in motion. Dearden, plenty of time. Goes over the middle. Man there, picked off by Dustin. He's got blockers out in front of him. Down the near sideline. Run out of bounds by Dearden. And Dearden with his 2nd interception of the night. And Dustin still down on the sideline. Dearden walloped him. I'm sure frustrated by everything that's gone on tonight, and it was a clean hit. Is it Dustin? Who is it? It might be one of the, oh, it's a Stansbury player. It's Vaca. And they help him up. And Givachon will help him to the sideline. Vaca looks like he's going to be all right. I wondered if it was Dustin. It looked like it might be Dustin, but then he rolled out of there. And Ridgeline's back almost where they gave it up. I guess they were down deeper than this, but so 2 possessions, 2 turnovers for Ridgeline to start this third quarter, but no harm done on either one as they took over on downs after the first one and take it over after the interception on this one. West is behind Daly. He's going to hand it off. West is 5 yards downfield before anybody even touches him.
Gain of about 7.
Crosby West looking for a 100-yard game. He's got 6. He's at 89 on 12 carries. Ridgeline not really in any hurry to run their offense, leading 42-14. Daly looking down the sideline. His receiver got tackled. No flags. Oh my goodness. I mean, you got to throw something. You have to throw something. They ran into each other. Cox tried to run his pattern. He ended up tripping and running over Maxwell. And the ball's right there. You got to call something, either offensive or defensive pass interference. And they're hollering at the back judge, asking him why, and he gives him a shrug. Third down. Fake the give to West. Throw underneath to Livingston. Livingston has enough for a first down as he steps out of bounds. He got 7.
First down, Ridgeline.
Livingston with 96 yards on 8 catches and a touchdown. 6:03 to play in the third. Ridgeline on the move. We were down here earlier and they turned it over after Daly fumbled it. He went to throw it and it slipped out of his hand. Cold ball on a cold night. Daly over the middle, has Cox. Nice break up there by Maxwell. And it was interesting on that last play when the official didn't throw the flag. It was Maxwell and Cox, and they were talking to each other all the way back to the huddle. And if Carson Cox is anything like his dad, Travis, he has the competitive spirit of 4 normal people. I'm sure there was plenty said. Three wide. Crew Jones in tight. They're going to turn and hand it to West. West right up the middle. You know what's just more impressive with how they've run this? They haven't tried the edges. They've been running right up the middle, and they've been running right at Vaca, and Vaca is a load. I mean, he is a big kid in there, and they've been running right at him and the other tackle, and boy, hasn't mattered. 3rd and a yard. Daly directing traffic, finds his man down at the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 9. Knighton
moves the chains. First
with
down.
92 yards now. And it's a 1st and goal situation right at the 10-yard line. Not sure why the clock isn't running. Guess he stepped out of bounds. I don't know. Give it to West. Talk about Vaca. He makes the tackle on that one. He was able to pinch down and get a hold of Crosby West. West gains about a yard. West still a yard shy of 100 on 99 yards on 14 carries for West. Knighton comes off. Peterson and Jones to the far side. Livingston and Cox to this near side. West in the backfield. Daly looking for Cox in the corner. Touchdown.
That's senior number 3.
8 yards and the touchdown.
You gotta fight for your right.
51 yards on 5 catches and a touchdown now for Cox. And 3 touchdown passes for Dowling, 282 yards. PAT is up, the PAT is good, 49-14. Ridgeline running away and hiding from Stansbury. All right, you want to know what one of the perfect foods is? Well, there's many of them. But one of the perfect foods is pizza. It just doesn't get much better. Now, there's nothing worse than bad pizza, but there's so much good pizza in this valley. With all the choices that you have, one of the best choices is the Factory Pizzeria. 5% off if you go and order online from the Factory Pizzeria. Any large pizza on Monday night gets you a second pizza half off. That's available for dine-in or pick up. $5 wings and nachos on Wednesday for their Wednesday special as well. The Factory Pizzeria, a Game of the Week sponsor. Ridgeline kicks it off, leading 49-14 now. Boy, they're going to let him bring it out. They run the reverse again, and this time it doesn't go for 90-plus and a touchdown. It gets out to the 12-yard line, and it should be now at 49-14. We should be seeing a running clock.
A lot of great things are happening tonight, and one of the things we got to bring up tonight is that band
A full moon
just north of the student
in
body
Millville
is competing tomorrow at Davis.
on a clear night.
The American Fork at Davis.
Snow-capped peaks. You can't see them now, but as we kicked off at 6 o'clock before the sun went down, it was a glorious October evening. And everybody here on the Ridgeline sideline has been loving it as well. Incomplete pass as Maxwell can't come up with it. When you're down 49-14,
Matthews intended for Matthews.
if you're the team that's down, the hits hurt a little bit more. The ball's a little slicker, and the clock never runs fast enough. Little sidearm throw. Sticks it in there, does Dearden. That was a slick one. He picked up 13.
Number 17, Patch.
To Patch. Still only 59 yards for Dearden. They finally get Hadlock loose, and he picks up 20 yards.
Reception, catch by Hadlock, first down.
He's been held in check tonight, but he got loose there, and he picked up 20. Here's the give to Ferry. Ferry looking for an opening, picks up about 4.
Run up the middle by Ferry.
Ferry, 9 carries, 16 yards.
Purser, Trey Purser, and others on the stop for Ridgeline.
Matthews, I called Matthews Maxwell earlier. That was Matthews, number 5 on that first grab on this possession. 2nd and 6, 2:40 to play in the third. turn and give it to Ferry. Ferry cuts on a dime, picks up a first down. His best run of the night. Late flag from maybe a face mask to add on to that run. It was an 8-yard run by Ferry. And it is on Stansbury. Or pardon me, Ridgeline. Well, Stansbury's lone offensive touchdown came courtesy of a drive that featured 38 yards worth of penalties on Ridgeline. And there's 15 more for Ridgeline right there. Ridgeline's first penalty of the second half. Give it John in motion. Flags coming in. Somebody moving for Stansbury. Yes, they are. Stansbury, their 5th penalty of the night for 50 yards. 5 for 50. Ridgeline, 5 for 68. They had one that was half the distance, so it ended up being an 8-yard penalty. Running clock situation now here at Ridgeline. A little bit of a breeze picking up just to add to the cool evening. Dearden looks to the sideline. His receiver kept running, and Dearden threw it to the outside. His receiver's turning around, waving his hand like, hey.
Perry on coverage for Ridgeline.
I wonder if that was, receiver's choice. Sometimes they have these offenses where the receiver has a choice whether to break it off or go downfield, depending on what they see. The receiver went downfield, and he was open. 2nd and long. Hand it to Givejohn. Picks up a couple. I would think this might be the surprise score of the night. Not that Ridgeline won. I think these two teams, either one could win coming in is what I thought, but by how convincing the win was. Dearden hits his man. He throws it sidearm and gets it down there for the completion. 15, 16, 17, 18 yards to Rich. And with 1:07 to play in the third, the Stallions inside the 15-yard line. Dearden has to just get rid of it. Ridgeline's defense has not come up with a sack tonight, but they've made Dearden uncomfortable. Givejohn has a head of steam. Plows into one would-be tackler and then taken down after a gain of 4. .32 seconds to play in the third quarter. 3rd down. 0 for 9 on 3rd down tonight for Stansbury. Givejohn right up the gut. He's going to be short. It's going to be 4th and about a yard.
Perkins, among others, on the tackle.
And Stansbury quickly to the line and see if they get the snap off before the end of the quarter, and they're not going to. So we head to the 4th. Ridgeline cruising on to the next round. They lead Stansbury 49-14. Anderson Seed and Garden has been a long-time sponsor of the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. Mark over there has forgotten more than most people ever know about gardening. AndersonSeedandGarden.com is the place to go for all your seed, gardening, planting, harvesting, everything needs. They'll give you tips. They'll let you know what's available for you to purchase at their store down there on Center. Anderson Seed and Garden, a Game of the Week sponsor. Skyview leading Bear River 56-14 late in that ball game. Mountain Crest on the board, but still trailing Timpanogos 27-6, and Green Canyon leading Salem Hills 12-3. Provo leads Payson 21-7. The winner of that will play the winner of this ball game. If it's Provo, then Ridgeline will hit the road. Vaca in there. Ball batted down on 4th down and 2. They tried to throw to Rich, and the ball was batted down at the line of scrimmage. Stansbury turns it over on downs.
It's a party here in Millville. Again, we want to thank the band.
9 of 25 for 97 yards and a touchdown for Dearden. They have made life tough on him. He threw for 316 the first time these two teams met. They haven't sacked him, but they've made him uncomfortable, and the defensive backfield has shown out. Ridgeline with a running clock now takes over deep in their own territory. Give it to West. Pops to the outside. That's not West. That's a different back in there. That looks like Noah Fiafia, the freshman. It is.
That's Noah Fiafia.
Takes it from the 6 out to the 24, 18 yards. He's a freshman. And I saw him warming up too, and he's built like a 14-year-old freshman. West is put together a little more sturdy than Fiafia. Fiafia is still a little bit lanky. Daly's still your quarterback. They're going to hand it to Fiafia again. He's in the clear again, and he picks up 5 more.
Carrier, Noah Fiafia.
139 yards rushing for Ridgeline, 282 in the air, 421 total yards as I hurry and put my shoes back on from counting my toes to try to add that one up. Too cold for that. 2nd and 5, give to Fiafia again. Patient runner finds an opening, picks up 10.
Tackle by Anderson, but Noah Fiafia moves the chains north. 1st down, Ridgeline.
Another 1st down for Ridgeline. It's 42-14 at the half. Ridgeline could do no wrong offensively. And this 3rd quarter, Ridgeline turned it over twice. An interception and a fumble by Daly. But defensively, they didn't let Stansbury do anything with it. Hand it to Fiafia again. Stansbury's up at the line, crowding the line, expecting a run, and that's what they got. Fiafia, no gain that time.
By Warren for the Stallions.
That knocks down his 11 yards per carry average. 4 carries, 33 yards for Fiafia. And they don't get talked about all the time, but those guys up front for Ridgeline, the offensive line, they really did the job tonight. I mean, they brought their hard hats and their lunch pails, and they went to work. Fiafia turns the corner. Fiafia picks up yardage, still on his feet. Fiafia down the far sideline, hauled down inside the 25.
Who's that running? That's Noah Fiafia.
37 yards.
Rumbling down the field, moving the chains. 1st down.
70 yards on 5 carries for Fia. What I tell you about the offensive line. Opening a big hole. And Fia zoomed through it. Now they've got West back in there. Yeah, Fia probably needs a rest. West right up the middle. West into the secondary, and he picks up 8.
Heading north, Crosby West.
West with 107 yards on the night now on 15 carries and a touchdown. Ridgeline closing this thing out. They lead 49-14, running clock. Dowley's thrown for nearly 300 yards, 282 and 3 touchdowns. They hand it off to Fia. Bounces it outside. Flag in the backfield as Fia is brought down inside the 5-yard line.
Fia.
A flag on the edge where he bounced it outside, holding
Flag on the field.
on Ridgeline. Their second penalty of the half, 6th of the game. And that'll back them up. 7:33 to play in the ball game, 49-14. Ridgeline. It's all over but the crying here in Millville. Ridgeline will play the Provo Payson winner. Right now, Provo up by a couple of scores in that ball game. I have to look at the bracket and be sure I'm telling you the right thing. But yeah, it's Ridgeline would have to play on the road. Give it to Fia. Fia grabbed the back of his jersey and yanked down right about the line of scrimmage.
Ball carrier, Fia.
See if they move they don't move the yard marker at all, so he stays at 70 yards, 6 carries, 70 yards, all here on this drive in this 4th quarter. After taking over on downs deep in their own territory, keeping Stansbury out of the end zone. 1 offensive touchdown for the Stallions tonight, a team that averages 35 points per game. Turn and give, Fia. Looking for an opening, finds a little bit of one. Picks up 5. Young comes on and they'll try a field goal. Plenty of time to get set up. It's the play clock, still 20 seconds. This will be from 39. Right hash. And Stansbury's offsides. Stansbury leans into the neutral zone. And that makes it a 34-yard try. And they leave Young out there. Leading 49-14, no reason to go for it on 4th down and 4. Snap's good, holds good, kick, plenty of leg, is good. 52-14 with 5:10 to play in the ball game. Ridgeline moving on. Well, we mentioned our Game of the Week sponsors throughout the game all year long, and we'd like to thank them for their sponsorship of football as the football season for us starts to wind down. We'll mention one more time, Wendy's of Logan. You know, just when you thought they couldn't do it, they did it. They took their beloved Frosty, they combined it with pumpkin spice. Might as well pumpkin spice everything in October. Behold the new pumpkin spice Frosty. Pumpkin seeds not included. That's at Wendy's. Go try it, the pumpkin spice Frosty at Wendy's of Logan. Wendy's, a Game of the Week sponsor.
Here we go, Stan. Let's sing it.
Well, the fans that are here are all bundled up, but they're having a dance party down there below us. A cold evening, but they're having a good time here at Ridgeline.
Get to the club in my taxi cab. Everybody's looking at me now. Like, who's that chick that's rocking kicks? She gotta be from out of town.
5:10 to play, 52-14. Ridgeline leading Stansbury. Both teams have turned it over twice. Both teams have scored a special teams touchdown. But Ridgeline's scored a lot more offensive touchdowns. 35 degrees out here tonight. So we can't officially say it's freezing, but it's close. Young's gonna just kick the little squib because they already had one kick returned on him for 90-plus yards and a touchdown. And they've kind of stayed away from Matthews since then.
36-yard line.
"97 yards is all for Dearden. Came into this game with 2,152 yards. "51 yards rushing, so 148 yards total offense for Stansbury. Have to add up Ridgelines, but they're up there. Here's the pitch pass, man wide open. And if they would have put it on him, he would have scored. But he had to stop for it, and that was Patch.
Pass complete. Dearden to number 17.
And ends up being 32 yards.
The Patch.
And the run not
There
all night.
Again, we have, I believe if we still have some cotton candy really cheap in the snack stand.
.481 total yards for Ridgeline as Stansbury moves it again. Danes picks up the first down. Ridgeline getting some youngsters in there. Always good to get some kids some varsity minutes
For number 5, Matthews.
that they can take into the next year. Dearden sidearms it out there looking for Matthews. Can't find him. It's wide of him. 3.5 minutes left to play in the game. 52-14 Ridgeline. Dearden looking to throw. Now he takes off. Picks up positive yardage. Dearden's had one
Lincoln Davis
tonight. One, he's been brought down once, a 3-yard loss. Here's third down, 0 for on third downs, 0 for 10 for Stansbury. Out to Danes. Dane turns the corner. Danes close to the first down. He's got it. And then a little bit more as he leans forward. First and 10 down at the 17-yard line of Ridgeline. 2:45 to play in the ball game.
On the tackle for Ridgeline.
Dearden looks underneath. Again, his receiver running downfield, and Dearden throwing the comeback. He was throwing to the edge, and his receiver's running down the field. I've seen that a couple of times where they've been out of sorts. That Green Canyon game goes final. They beat Salem Hills 12-3. That means Green Canyon will be visiting Skyview next week. And that's the game we'll plan on doing on the Valley Channel. Dearden fakes the pitch, heads for the end zone, reaches in. Touchdown.
Touchdown. Dearden on the keeper. Gets into the end
Dearden
zone.
from 17. A Pyrrhic victory, but a victory nonetheless. As Dearden not giving up, he heads for the end zone. He's had a rough night. I'm sure that touchdown probably didn't do much to make him feel much better. But he wasn't to be denied. As the clock dips under 2 minutes to play in the ball game, Stansbury lines up for the PAT. 52-21. Ridgeline, a minute 56 away from a quarterfinal game. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology has been a sponsor of the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. We appreciate their sponsorship. Cache Valley's most trusted name in hearing aids is Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Paul Danes, Dr. Paul Danes, Doctor of Audiology. He's a board certified in audiology. He'll take care of you and all of your hearing needs. Go visit him, Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, a Game of the Week sponsor. So this is how it's going to line up in the quarterfinals if all of these scores hold. Skyview is going to be taking on Green Canyon. That's a game we'll be covering. Park City, Dixie. Park City's got a couple of touchdown lead in that ball game. So it looks like they'd be taking on Timpanogos. Crimson Cliffs going to be taking on Desert Hills unless Snow Canyon can come back in that one. That Provo-Payson game, though, is still 21-7. Ridgeline will play the winner of that. Ridgeline will be at home if Payson ends up winning. If not, they'll head to Provo. Let's see if Ridgeline just takes a knee. They're looking like they might be in that they're in the victory formation. They're going to let the clock run all the way down before they take a snap. They'll take a knee. And Eric Alder's not going to call any timeouts. He's got all three, but at this point, why?
Kneeling the ball, Daly brings up second down.
So Stansbury will finish the season 7-5.
Safely and have a wonderful
They've never
weekend.
finished worse than 8-4. This was their chance to get to 8-4, 7-5. I mean, they've built a tradition of excellence out there under Coach Alder. Even with this loss, though, Alder's all-time record at Stansbury will only go to 46-17. He's really built something out there in the Tooele Valley. There's going to be another high school opening up out there from what I understand. It'll be interesting to see what it does to those schools out there. Well, they don't have to snap it again. Ridgeline will move on to play the Provo Payson winner as they dominate against Stansbury tonight, 52-21. Next week, we'll be out in Smithfield as Skyview will be hosting Green Canyon in a quarterfinal game in a battle of the brothers. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on the Valley Channel. The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Wendy's of Cache Valley. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Bring back what you have been missing. Aspen Dental. Get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. Custom Fence Company. Privacy, security, peace of mind. Anderson Seed and Garden. Growing better gardeners. The Logo Shop. We logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. KSM means music. Music is all we do. Factory Pizzeria. We're open late after the game. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 30 years.